couple of things she's considering. Her clock just don't tell time. Her clock tells dimension. Searching your toes for affection. Searching your eyes for your heart. Don't think you know too well. Madness attracts and repels. You should be living on earth in connection. Display her fine points in your thoughts. Don't think her clock can tell. If you're pretending that all is well, just from her feeling, just from her feeling, just from her feeling, from her feeling. She still hugs your insecurity, and she is patient with your paranoid mind. Don't think you know too well. Madness attracts and repels. Lying so smooth and truly, there's nothing faint about the things you deny. Don't think you know too well. Madness attracts and repels. Shouldn't have to be mental, just and scheming. Rude boy, you shouldn't have to be. Will if I double cross and double dealing. And it shouldn't have to be. Will if a prosecution and appealing. Biological accuracy, she gets you every time from the feeling. Just from her feeling. Just from her feeling. Her clock just don't tell time. Her clock just don't tell the time. Her clock tells dimension. Her clock tells single or double mind. Emotional distance. Just from her feeling. Just from her feeling. Hey, shouldn't have to be mental, just and scheming. And it shouldn't have to be will if a double cross and double dealing. And it shouldn't have to be will if a prosecution and appealing. Biological accuracy get you every time from the feeling. Just from her feeling. Just from her feeling. Hey, the clock just don't tell time. The clock tells dimension. Single or double line. Emotional distance. Yeah, the clock just don't tell time. The clock tells dimension. Single or double line. Emotional distance. Yeah, yeah. Just from her feeling. Just from her feeling. Just from her feeling. Just from her feeling. Them is your lucky and your crony. Only from resistance you're gonna know me. The shackles of the lion made you holy. In the furrows of country. In the furrows of country. Yeah. Hey. Oh. White collar criminal. Blue collar Krishna. All your decimation inclination. You take a leaf out of India. The feminine emblem. Send the best for the data. Still makes you be a worker. Giving up your culture for cancer. Living their life on the arrogance. It put them on a jockey turn around shit. Living in a comfortable scavenger vibe. Must don't cause big to feel sick. Every day they must put on the clown face. So now them accustomed to playing tricks. I'm not riding along on your quicksand pace. I don't feel at home in it. White collar criminal. Blue collar Krishna. All your decimation inclination. You take a leaf out of India. The feminine the emblem. Send the best cultivator. Still make you be a barracker. giving up your culture for cancer. Well, I don't think you know about none of the two Ethiopia. Run Gaga King James your version. What's the first verse in Esther? Try never to witness a people disappear, transaction in action. Yeah, heal when the boardroom hit order come down. Silence is the usual chain reaction. All them searching for them bigger power over occupation, rejection, racial. Every corporate couple and put in retreat. Who is the next sacrificial? White collar criminal, blue collar Krishna. And your decimation inclination. You take a lead out of India. The feminine emblem. Tonight the best cultivator. Still make up your baraka. Giving up your culture for cancer. Giving up your culture for cancer. Yeah, from the whipping in the temple deeds, representing everlasting life. From the dripping in our blood, sweat, bees, ganja hustle free our soul tonight. Hey, and who that rebuke my ease is a judgment sacrifice. Hey, 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 karma protection reduce. That is the right one more boost. White collar criminal, hey, blue collar Krishna. And your decimation inclination. You take a lead out of India. Yeah, the feminine emblem. Tonight the best cultivator. Still make up your baraka. You're giving up your culture for cancer. Deal, I don't think you know about none of the two Ethiopia. Why run Gaga King James your version? What's the first verse in Esther? Hey, 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 them is your lucky and your brownie. Only from resistance you know me. The shackles of the lion me truly. In a barrows of country. In a barrows of country. Yeah, and I'm both white collar criminal, blue collar Krishna. All your decimation inclination. You take a lead out of India. I don't think you know about none of the two Ethiopia. Run Gaga King James your version. What's the first verse in Esther? White collar criminal, white collar criminal, white collar criminal, white collar criminal. Give me no love, give me no love, give me no love to live God, the one of the youth and them to the right. Give me no love to live God, the one of the youth and them to the right. The one of the youth and them to the right. Propaganda, 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 news media, propaganda, 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 only for propaganda, 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 news media. Propaganda, 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 propaganda. Oh God. Original man, he was black, he was black, he was an African. Carbon, he was. Science will show that and prove that over and over again. Just the other home. We tell them under your father that your days may belong. Original black man. We were here from foundation of time. We will remain until the end. Just get no more. Don't listen to propaganda. Propaganda, 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 propaganda. Propaganda, news media. Propaganda, 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 propaganda. You black is absorption of all light and color. So hear me, little sister. In the earth and in the sky are the cycles of your womb. See yourself precious once again. We are earth for the earth of the daughters of our people. She and her tears could find no comfort. Our arms are again strong. We will be there for our daughters. We will be there. Just fear no more. Don't listen to your propaganda. Propaganda, 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 propaganda. Propaganda, news media. Propaganda, 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 propaganda. Oh gosh. Black is the color of our solar system. Out of blackness was born the light. Black is the color of the whole universe. Your morning starts with darkness. Did not your morning start with darkness? Did not your morning start with darkness? Did not this morning start with darkness? Hey, well, so does tonight. Alpha, Alpha and Omega I, the beginning and the end. Don't listen to propaganda. Propaganda, 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 propaganda. All aboard. I'm not leaving without my contribution accounted for. All aboard. I'm not leaving your vineyard without the groundwork accounted for. Hey, hey, man, we learn to humble to his way. Men we live and die unnecessarily. Hey, man, we learn to pray with long suffering. Men we live and die still pretending. You are every knee shall bow and every tongue confess. God, I, Selassie, I live. Every knee shall bow and every tongue confess. God, I, Selassie, I live. Go down, Ethiopia. Come, out of Barima, Condenem, Para, come. Go down, Ethiopia. The ancient ancestors call from our bloodlines. They remember word, sound, and power will over. Word, sound, and power. We are Rasta. Word, sound, and power. In this young mental armor, Gideon no retreat that Well, stand firm in obedience, stand firm in solidarity, stand firm in obedience. The eyes are the light of your body. Look into the eyes. See you are somebody worthy of noble deeds. Jah in the eye and eye, Jah in everybody. Jah in the eye and eye, Jah in everybody. Jah in the eye and eye, Jah in everybody. Alright, alright. If you have a heart ruling over all, if you have a heart ruling over every other subject, you legislate with conscience and then make your rules. You base all decisions in unshakable truth. To hurt and intolerance, this is the end. If you don't do this, you must fight again. Must fight again. to conquer it without apology for any false way. The depths of Jah precept I will obey. Steadfast, unmovable in His laws, I stand forever was here long before today. If you ever are, if you ever are, ruling over every other subject of legislate with conscience and then make your moves. Based on decision in right and truth to earth and intolerance. This is the end. If you don't do this, you must fight again. Must fight again. Must fight again. Must fight again. There will be no end. Unto nations and systems, unto offender and victim, Mother Earth has seen blood and likewise rain. For the father's sin, the children in pain. If you ever are ruling over all, now, you legislate with conscience and then make your moves. Based on decision in unshakable truth to earth and intolerance. This is the end. If you don't do this, you must fight again. Must fight again. Must fight again. Must fight again. There will be no end. Not fearing the inevitability of death. Giving praise and thanks for every sunrise and every sunset. With the sacred draw of every living breath. I know to know your work is to live without regret. Here the eyes are the light of your body. Look into the eyes, see you are infinity. Somebody worthy of nobility. Jah in a eye and eye, Jah in a everybody. Jah in a eye and eye, Jah in a everybody. Jah in a eye and eye. In everybody, I will praise thee, O Jah, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. How precious also are thy thoughts unto me, O Jah, how great is the sum of them. If I should count them, they are more in number than the sun. When I awake, I am still with thee. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O Jah, depart from me therefore, ye bloody men. For they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. Do not I hate them, O Jah, that hate thee? Am I not grieved with those that rise against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred, I count them my enemies. Search I, O Jah, and know I are. Try me, know I dark see, if there be any wicked way in me, and lead I in the way of everlasting.
Yes. Peace and blessings, everyone, and give thanks for tuning in to another Bill Radio Talk here. Much thanks for listening, and here we are with another episode of Coons and Politics, part 6. We're moving with a Sankofa frequency right here because we're in a Mercury retrograde time frame, and this time frame is basically allowing us to go back and reflect. And Sankofa means to go back and fetch that which was lost, or just go back and seek your roots, go back and check yourself. And Mercury retrograde basically translates to moving backwards or go back in position or time. So it's really nothing wrong with going back, because sometimes you have to reflect. You know what I mean? Going back is where you can sort out those errors, and when you move forward, you know, not to bring those errors into your forwardness. So yeah, so as we are also being asked to go back and reflect, go back into Sankofa, the way we communicate, the way we operate on a mental level, think about what you're saying, make sure you're in a sound mindset when you do things, because you might not like the outcome. And, you know, Mercury sitting at home in Gemini of methods of communication with the self and others are the highlight during this 3-week period. So from May 29th to June 22nd, 2021, this is the frequency we're on. All right? And Mercury enters Gemini, where it will stay, like I just said, until June 22nd. And this is another awakening period that will give us inspired understanding and allow us to see how our past, to see how our present and future are a continuum of growth into our uniqueness. So pay close attention to what you say or read during the period of this time. The truth has a way of coming out, and it may not be pretty, but the good news is that the truth can set you free. So I gathered this information from Spiritual Gangstar 220 and Healing Energy. There's some in-depth information on the time and space that we're going through right now with Mercury in retrograde sitting in Gemini, because Mercury is Gemini's planet naturally anyway, so Gemini is actually sitting at home. So the communication needs to be right, know what you say, know what you're doing, because you need to grow into a certain uniqueness, and you won't do that if you are not dealing right. And that's just the whole concept of that. So I like to kind of sometimes add the celestial bodies with what's happening with humans right about now as we're speaking, in situations that are happening during this time frame where the communication needs to be better. Make sure you be careful of what you say and read, seeing how your past, your present, and your future could take a part in your continuum growth right now. Yes, your past does have a lot to do with what's happening with you right now. A lot of us don't like to admit that. So yes, to revise, if you want more, you can always do your own research that, soothes your soul and fitting to your understanding. But some of the topics at hand would have been the Mercury retrograde that I just talked about, which is also a part of seeking Sankofa, because now you have to go back and you're going back into time. You know what I'm saying? You're moving backwards. You're reflecting. And that reflection is always needed. That helps with balance, And then the Coons and politics, of course, on the African mind. We need to be in an awakening period, and we're not. We need to be in a certain time and space in 2021, and we're not. And that goes for at home and abroad. And also the native heritage, our natural born right. Like, we naturally have a right to want to connect to Mama Africa, to the continent of Africa, or whatever name you want to put it. But for some reason, there are certain spirits and entities and past vulgar histories that prevent these things from happening with the ones in diaspora and the ones that's on the continent. The disconnection is so evident, it's so transparent, that's why I'm doing these Coon and Politics episodes, because these things need to be said. Nobody talks about it. Everybody's scared to speak up because you're worried about what someone's going to say and who you have to debate with and argue with, but you claim you're for truth. So when you see something that's not in truth, you're supposed to be the one to say, hey, this is not the truth. This is the truth. And if you're not doing it, you're just sitting back and enjoying the ride, watching the results of things, but not trying to be a change of it, then that's where the problem comes. So, yeah, we have David D. Miles on the phone from Dallas, Texas, and actually not Dallas, Texas, Boston. And he's going to come on and introduce himself real quick, and then we'll move into what I call the Sankofa frequency, what's happening currently right now on the continent of Africa, reflecting on us here in the diaspora, and particularly a particular family that has experienced certain things on the continent. And we need to know to prevent these things for ones that have a desire to want to live in Africa or do business in Africa, however they want to do it. So, David, I don't know if you want to say something or what. So your mic is unmuted.
Peace and blessings, my beautiful family. What it be?
Peace and blessings.
All right, let's get it.
You have anything you would like to say before we move forward?
No, let's get it.
Okay, so let me send this message real quick to make sure I got the right person online before I open the next caller's mic. Because I'm being told that Pierre Gooding, City Council candidate of New York, is on the line. And I'm honored to have him on the line. So I'm getting ready to open up his line, his mic right now.
How's it going? Great to be on the show. Great to hear your voice. I love the words you said about bringing positive change, not just being a part of the problem, but the solution. And that's what we're about up here in Harlem. We're running for city council for the second time in the district, so excited to talk about what's going on.
Yes, and I give thanks for you being here. It's an honor having you on the line. I don't know you, but what I do know through Robert, it's a good thing. Thank you for being here. I don't even know what to say. I'm just like taken back. He didn't even give me a fair warning.
Well, that makes two of us. But, when there's an opportunity to make sure people know about what's going on in our community, we make sure we're there. So we appreciate you having this platform, Coons and Politics platform, to get the voice out here in local politics.
Yes, and it's true because it's not even just on a local level. It's even international.
Exactly. And a lot of what's going on in Africa relates to what we're doing here. We recently brought home 800 people from Ghana over President Trump's objection. So we are out here fighting for our Americans and our Ghanaians and our Africans as well.
Yeah, because there's a family that just repatriated to Ghana, the Volta region, Kapando Kanda to be exact. And the husband is from Trinidad, the wife is from Jamaica. They said they will be listening in because they're in Volta region right now. And they were invited there by someone that they knew for some years through the internet and was sending them money thinking that projects were being done. Come to find out he was just using their money to do what he wants. And they actually repatriated there. And right now, as we speak, they're fighting a voodoo town because they didn't know that they moved to a voodoo town.
Yes,
they didn't know the brother was into voodoo in the evil sense. They thought he was Rastafari because that's what he was portraying on Facebook. That's how he will Rastafari people in. He pretends he's Rasta, and then if you think he's Rasta, he got land, and you can do this and that, and you want to leave America, then of course you will link with him. And they happen to follow him thinking that he was righteous, and come to find out he's doing voodoo on them. They tried to make her daughter sick a few days before her birthday, but it didn't work. They're trying to make the mother sick. She just had a baby a few months ago. She's breastfeeding. They're trying to make her throw up and make her sick. Everything they try really doesn't penetrate. But the mere fact that you can do voodoo, all right, on your brother and sister that was sending you $1,500 at a time, sending you money throughout the 9-10 years they've known you, and now they're here in person, and you're doing voodoo on them?
There's a lot to what you said. There's a lot there, including the fraud aspect, the social media aspect, which is something that people are going through every day. So it's important to get this information out here about what's going on in social media. If you are sending money to somebody, you have to know who they are, not just a picture, because, like you just said, it wasn't going to what they thought it was going to, and that's a shame. And
they have 4 children. That's where my heart come in at. because there's 4 children involved in this that's innocent and did nothing to them, but yet you want to bind them up in your evil, wicked witchcraft voodoo to make them broke like you when they're there trying to help him. It's not like they weren't there trying to help them. They were there trying to help them. They planted 500. I can say it because there's nothing wrong with representing cannabis because there's nothing wrong with cannabis. It's just how people misuse it and abuse it. But on a medicinal aspect, an agricultural aspect, and, you know, produce and products, hemp, cannabis, it could be the near future thing for us. You know what I'm saying? So they had 500 plants planted. He sent some moron up there to go spray the plant, pretending that spray was supposed to be to protect it from bugs or whatever, but they're already growing in an organic state, so you don't need all of that because you already prevented that when you started planting it organically, if you really know what you're doing. Come to find out, this person came and sprayed all those plants and killed them all. Only 4 is living. You mean to tell me that's somebody who made a mistake?
Is the family okay? It
no,
seems like,
really, they're really not okay. No, they're not. No, they're not. No, you got some wickedness dealing right now. These are the same people that feed them, smoke with them, give them money, try to show them love, give them a kindness and a goodness, as my granny would call it. And they don't see none of that. None of it. They will sit next to you till you dry, till you have nothing. They're your friend until you're broke.
If they need legal advice, of course they can call. We can give you my number offline and at least help in that capacity.
Okay, I appreciate that so much. Yes. And it's like they don't even have a problem living in Africa. The problem is they got pulled into around a bunch of demons because they thought he was Rastafari, so they already know voodoo wasn't in the picture. You understand what I'm saying? Especially in the way they're using it.
Yeah.
But then they got there and they found out that it wasn't that.
This is a lot of what happened.
It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. You know what I mean?
No, it's not. It's a lot of what happened to our American Ghanaians as well. They got to Ghana. They were either visiting or doing some business, and the border shut down, and our government told them that they weren't going to help them out. There's a lot of non-help and non-assistance when people are going to other countries, and that has to change. And we cannot have situations like this. My heart goes out to this family.
Oh, you don't know how I'm feeling right now. This is my 2nd episode speaking on this, and I'm probably going to do another 5 or 6 or even more. Who knows? Until I feel satisfied.
Of course.
Until they get some justice and redemption. They went to Ghana with great intentions. 500 plants? You already know where his mind was at as far as agriculture, business, economics, building up the area. You already see where his mind was at. 500 plants? Not 50, not 15, not 5. 500. That's a lot of money to plant seeds and start plants. And he ran a pipe from the waterfall to the farm. They didn't even have basic piping skills. But all that land they got around them from their family heritage, they don't even know what to do with it. Moron.
Was he able to secure any grants for these endeavors?
I wish I could help them in that manner because they sure deserve it. 500. Get that started. You get the right feminized seeds to get this cannabis growing.
There's a lot of areas where
but the business pays off in the end.
I believe there's a lot of areas where this family can be helped. So that, like you were speaking about in the beginning of the show, we're willing to help, and I'm sure anybody else who's on this call will be willing to help in some capacity on this show. So let's make sure that this doesn't end up a bad situation and ends up with a good outcome.
That's right. And that's what's happening anyway, because you know how as long as you're living right, the Almighty God, Jah, Allah, whatever you want to call him, he's going to bring or she's going to bring the right person to you to let you know what's going on so you can always be a step ahead. You got the neighbor down the street putting them on alert. letting them know we've been knew that this is what they were doing to you, this is how you move with them, this is how you protect yourself, blah, blah, blah. Then you got somebody from another part of Ghana, from a Volta region, will come and tell them something. Every time I call to check up on them, something was saying my heart called and to see what the guan, and I'll call and see what the guan, and they'll be saying that somebody is there at their house telling them to beware of this same vampire Promoter J. See, Promoter J got me 2 years ago, June 2019. That's another reason why I'm done with him. He got me in 2019. Actually, he got my friend. A very close friend of mine did it on the strength of me. And he didn't do nothing with the money he said he was going to do with it. He took fake pictures of the tools he bought, and probably returned them right after he showed me the pictures. Come to find out, he was a jam. So he could never get nothing from me from 2 years ago. And then now, 2 years later, I'm hearing he's doing this to a upful family. A king that's just trying to take care of his queen and his youth. Come on now.
So
what are you doing?
This
Why
is a
would you
running
want to
problem
destroy something like that?
Yeah, this is a running problem. And these individuals don't need to be out here if they're really hurting families and scamming people. We put a guy in jail, a couple of years ago for doing the same thing.
But West is a voodoo town because you see we dealing with some spiritualities here now. This is voodoo town. Kapando Kanda is a voodoo town. Every corner you turn is a shrine. And they all doing something against each other. They're not doing nothing for prosperity, health, wealth, because that's what you're supposed to be using it for. Quiet as cat. If somebody's warring against you like the Haitians did in 1804 when they banged on those three world powers, the French, English, and Spanish. That's what you use voodoo for. You don't use voodoo for your Rasta brother and sister that's coming with their 4 youth from America via Caribbean, and you trying to bind them up like you. And they giving you money to help you get on top. They planting 500 plants to help you and your family as well, because this is a communal thing here. They're not coming on a selfish vibe. They're coming on a giving vibe. I know you hard. You got it hard. You're struggling. You can be a part of this project. And you go and send some moron to go spray the plant. You didn't even ask the person who planted the plants and bought the material for the plants and planted the seeds and bought the seeds. You didn't even ask him. Is it okay if I send a moron to come spray the 400 and something plants? Because only 4 live.
Well, can I ask why he did that?
Because he's wicked and evil. It's the voodoo mind. The voodoo that they practicing is the voodoo to keep you down and depressed. And when they think they conjuring up grandma, they conjuring up gremlins and goblins and ghouls. They're going to dark areas in the bottom part of the earth where most people don't even like to go to try to redeem somebody from that, because you really risking your life. You need shamans and what they call roots man and them type of thing, voodoo priests or whatever, to go in them deep, dark realms of the earth to reverse that. They're already zombied out. They're already gone. And even with my shaman training, I would never go to those sides of the earth for him. He would have to die that way because you knew what you was doing when you sacrificed your soul, your spiritual soul that was naturally given to you to be on this earth plane. You gave it up to do evil. I can't come and redeem that. I'm not fighting your goblins and giants. Nah, not me. And I got goblins and giants, but I'm not using them to fight you because you gave up your soul for the devil. I hate you with perfect hatred, like the Bible says. I hate you with perfect hatred because you put yourself out there like that. This family came from New York, from the Bronx / New Jersey. They live these places. To leave America with this racism. Go ahead.
Exactly. This story is an all too common story. We're trying to stop these sorts of situations from happening. A lot of information has to be exchanged to make sure that these people are not getting into these situations based on social media.
He's on Facebook now, probably in somebody's inbox, lying.
Yeah, exactly. It's breaking my heart, and we have to do better. We can't have this. We
and
really
then he had
can't.
the nerve to tell me, this demon, I don't mean to cut you, but this demon had the nerve to be in my inbox a few days ago. I can read you now what he said, but he blocked me, but I could still go back and read it. Because I was sending him the first episode I did on him. I sent him the link. Because I'm not talking about you behind your back. Okay? But anyway, he had the nerve to say to me, that if I keep disrespecting him, that he going to call his ancestors on me. I said, won't you call the ancestors on those Germans that took thousands of acres of land out of the Volta region, Ghana, not too long ago? Because not you per se, but one of your Ghanaian brothers signed papers that they didn't know what they was reading. And they gave the land away to the Germans, not knowing you can't get it back, you can't take it back, you can't fight it back, you can't go to court. Once you sign this dotted line, this 1,000 acres is mine. And that's what went on. And when they tried to fight it with the chief got sent away out the courthouse, even though that was heritage ancestral land. When you sign it, you lose it. And because they saw the German man as a savior, Lord and God and Jesus, they saw him as someone I can trust versus your own that look like you coming from the diaspora. You trusted this thing, and this thing made you sign the dotted line, and you gave away thousands of acres of land in the Volta region, and they producing on the land, and the Germans are sending the produce back to Germany. And guess who they got working the land? The same fool that signed the paper. Him and his fools.
There was a lack of legal representation there, and I want to go back quickly. You know, Facebook and social media, they're gonna have to step up their verification game and make sure that people are doing what they say they're doing and they are who they say they are, because people can post anything right now.
Well, they signed the line. There's nothing they could do. They even signed that I can't take it back because you can't read.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why the German came and did you like that.
Yeah, that's why
there
we
were
need
no
legal
clauses
representation
in
on the
that
front.
contract.
Probably not, because that's how it's structured on purpose. But that's why we need legal representation on the front end before we sign, as opposed to after. There's not a lot you can do after you sign.
Yep.
Thank you. He tried. The chief tried to take it back because he realized that, I guess it was his son or his grandson, made a dumb mistake, so he was trying to fight it to get his ancestral heritage land back, and he couldn't. Even the chief had to go take a seat on them stools. That's how the German did him again, another modern-day slavery tactic, strategy. Because you don't know that European like I know this European over here in America. You don't know him like I know him in Africa. You don't know him.
Yep.
That's why you got swindled, because he could have never came in my face with that. Never. He could have never came in my face with that. And me not knowing what I'm reading, you out your mind. I had to pay somebody to tell me what I was reading. Okay, if I had to pay $1,000 for somebody to honestly tell me what I was signing. But you saw your white savior, and then you got saved. Now eat on it. But then when I come from the diaspora, looking like you, melanated like you, non-ether hair like you putting voodoo on me. Because you mad that I'm coming here and I got my stuff together. Because you know they came together. If they're coming out of New York, the Bronx, New Jersey, they coming together. New York makes you be that way. Because when I moved to North Miami, I came together. That's just how we built on that. You know what I'm saying? You would never get a chance to say you did nothing for me for free. Because I gave you something in return for the help you gave me. It's always going to be like that. But they could never say that they came there and freeloaded off of them. Because they was the one paying you every week to go to the farm and water those 500 plants and send good vibes and energy. And then the daughter's birthday was in May, and you mean to tell me you sending fever on the liquor picnic? She said they tried to send fever on her, and she rushed it out. Yeah. She just rushed it out, put her hands on her chest, and swept it right up out of there. Yeah. That's why I'm talking about it. Because now you're dealing with their children, a fever before her birthday. Come on, she's supposed to be enjoying her new day. Come on.
Yeah.
What are you on? Promoter Jay and his girlfriend, his baby mother, came when the party is over. Or the baby mother came when the party over. Why you coming when the party over, David? Because you thought there wasn't going to be no party. You couldn't believe it. Because you paying the voodoo man to make me sick and make my daughter sick and mash up her birthday. So you spinning the voodoo man, and you see what the voodoo man not telling him from a shaman way of healing point of view? You know what the voodoo man's not telling them? That you can't touch them because they got giants around them. They got ancestors around them. And I'm not fighting them because then I'm going to put myself at risk. But you know what instead he's doing? He's taking their money, making them think he's doing something to them. He ain't doing nothing to them. But that little fever nonsense. And we get over fever. We get over colds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, this is what's happening right now as we speak. They've only been there a few months, 5 months, 6 months, you know, like that. They don't have a problem living in Africa.
Are they trying to come back, or are they staying?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's what the part I wanted to make clear here. They don't want to leave Africa because they see the positive side of Africa. They just got swindled into a fake roster who brought them into a voodoo community, Kapando Kanda, Volta region. Beautiful area, waterfalls going to bed, okay? Waterfalls galore, lakes, rivers galore. I told you that her husband, the one from Trinidad, ran the pipe from the waterfall to the farm to feed the farm. But it's the people in there. You see that magnetic pull that Mother Africa got on us is so strong that she just brings us there. And we go there expecting that the people got that same magnetic pull. And they don't. That electromagnetic pull that we have here on this continent of America toward the continent of Africa is pulling us. The land, the continent. You understand what I'm saying? It's pulling us. The spirit of it is pulling us. And when we get there, we automatically expect that the people was pulling us. But it wasn't. It was the continent pulling us. Those people are still sick, just like the people you left in America and in the Caribbean and in Europe. And where the black person is that got influenced with the European and the Spanish and the French. They're messed up in their head. So we leave America and go there and fight double hard on the continent of Africa because now we got another fleet type of people. We just left one type of A fleet in America. Then we come to Ghana and we get type B and C and D fleet. And I've been to Ghana in 2012. I stayed for 7.5 weeks. So I know what I'm saying. I'm not just talking.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm understanding? You see what I'm saying? So when they tell me that, I'm not even surprised. And I lived around Africans even here in America, in New York. I know them here in Miami. That's nothing new. It's just when you go there, you see it in living color, like Shanae, living color. Okay? That's just how transparent it is. The brainwashing is straight on. The British messed us up over here in America, and they messed them up there in Ghana. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I still love you, but you're sick. Just like I love my Africans in America, but they're sick. Transatlantic slave trade, traumatic syndrome, messed us up from great granny on down. And we inherit their past karmas, our past karmas, our current karmas, their current karmas, until we cut the cords and clear the energy field, upgrade the DNA. We're going to keep continually seeing this behavior. And that's why people don't want to go back home no more. The magnetic pull pulling them, but they don't go. Or they go and they don't stay because they get turned off. They feel like you're just using me because you think I got money because I'm in America or I'm coming from the Caribbean or I'm coming from England. They don't know the third of what we suffer over here. When there ain't no food in the refrigerator. And I damn sure can't call you for it. But you think because I'm in America that my refrigerator stays full.
Yeah.
Yeah, it do because I make sure that priority is taken care of. But if I waited on my so-called government that you think is so better than where you at, I would be starving. I know how to take what I have and expand it. So they're just lost in time. And when you're stuck in time like that, there's no way we're going to be able to build a house on a firm foundation. Unless each beam be sound, the whole structure of a house cannot be firm. Quoted from Emperor Haile Selassie. You see it, each beam be sound. I mean, it got to be in place. All pillars got to be in place. If not, the whole structure of the house can't be firm.
Yep.
What else do I have to say to you, my brothers and sisters on the continent of Africa, all over the continent? What more do I have to say to you? You know we got a lot to offer and bring. Embrace it. Don't hate it. Embrace it. Embrace it, because we got a lot to bring. And you got a lot to bring
And we
to
got
us.
a lot of work to do.
We looking for you to come to bring us stuff too. We want to learn from you too. You don't think we want to learn that drum sound and that native dance and that tribal dance? Yes, we want to wear the garment. We're not ashamed. Don't get the saggy pants twisted. You get what I'm trying to say? So, come on. We have to wake this thing up. You should not be doing voodoo on a Rasta brethren and sister that come with their family that's been helping you throughout the years they've known you. And all you did was disappoint them. And all they did was forgive you in the love of Rastafari. Now they're here in person. They did what they said they was going to do. I'm coming home, and now I'm home, and you're doing voodoo on me. Promoter Jay, you need to go somewhere and find your soul, because you lost out here. You lost. When he told me if I keep disrespecting him, he's going to call his ancestors on me. See, I pissed him off enough to get him mad enough to tell me that he did do it to them. Because if you tell me you'll do it to me, this proves my argument that I have with you right now, that you did it to them. So they're not lying on you. That's my whole point. They're not lying on you. I told them, bring it. Bring your giants. You better call Ghostbusters, because that's all you're going to be able to do. Because the same way your ancestors loved you, my ancestors loved me. And I embrace that. You think I'm scared of that? Yeah, I know that voodoo might be stronger because that's where it comes from, but I still, you hear what I'm trying, and they're not spreading, and that's why they're still surviving through it all.
That's right.
I'm very disappointed in this fake so-called Rastafari. He fakes up Rastafari to bring Rastafari like this couple and this family and do what he, and then when you get them in your voodoo zone, you're trying to zap them out so they could be, the lady down the street told them.
Is there any way to expose this man so that he doesn't do this to other individuals?
Of course, he's on Facebook. That fool blocked me because I was sending him the first what I did on him.
Okay.
And he blocked me. It came back. So, yeah, that's right. That's right. His name is Promoter J, and I was offline. I'll give you all his information so you can see him right in living color on Facebook from your side.
Yeah.
I can't see him from my side.
Yeah. I mean, I need his information.
He didn't even want me to see him no more.
I'm sure.
I mean, because that's all you're going to be able to do. Like, you're the only one spiritual. Like, you don't even know how to get in tune, in contact with your galactic family or with your grandmother and great-grandparents that passed on already. Boy, get out of here. Gullah Geechee been doing that. You know what I'm saying? Native Americans been doing that. Get out of here. You don't know how ancient America is? Please. You look at us as estimates and you think we don't know nothing, because most of us don't. But the ones that do, you play with us just like playing with fire all over again. That's why he blocked me. So if you're so powerful, what you blocking me for? Because at first, I'm not going to lie, I was going to block him. But I said, what am I blocking him for? I ain't do nothing to him. He can't do nothing to me. Then when I went to send him the first episode I did about him, I couldn't send it.
I know he needs to be off of Facebook. I know that much.
Yeah, he get ready to get it. And I normally don't even get in people's business, but when you say you're your brothers and sisters keeper and you're a steward of the earth, you're a steward of humanity, you must step in.
Amen.
You must step in. And I know that, see, they have, that's the thing I forgot to answer. Yes, they have an infinity for Africa. They don't want to leave Africa. They just happen to get caught up in the voodoo community because they thought this fraud was a true Rasta. They didn't know they were coming into Kapando Kanda, 99.9.5% voodoo, shrine on every corner. But they're not doing it in love and light. That's my problem. They're not doing it like 1804, the Haitian Revolution. From you not coming from that height, I have no respect for you. and they feel like they don't belong there. They know they don't belong there. You get what I'm saying? The way that the place is torn down, and her husband said, Josh Sparks told me, he said it straight. He said, listen, Empress, this place got a lot of potential, but they would have to want it, and they don't want it. The roads have been like this, messed up for 30 years. Nobody is caring about it. But if somebody come there that cares about it and wants to fix something up, they seem like they got a problem with it. They're grudging you about that because you want to upgrade their environment. You want to change their environment. So you can't help but sleep in people like that. That's why I said I hate them with perfect hatred, and I ain't taking it back. And who's African listening and don't like it, you'll understand tomorrow morning when you wake up why I said that. Your heart is heavy now, but you'll wake up lighter. Because you'll know if you're like them, then you'll be mad. You'll stay mad. But if you're not like them, you'll wake up and understand why I said it. Because it's not personal. It's not nationality. It's not none of that. I'm not on none of that. I feel like I don't feel like I know my DNA is just as strong as their DNA, even though I'm over here.
Yes.
You see it? So
like you were saying,
that's not
change is
even
hard.
the case here.
Change is hard.
I'm not hating.
Positive
Yeah, exactly. And their heart is not in the right place. That's the problem. Their heart is not in the right place, my brother. And we need it to be in the right place. That's the only way we're going to be able to repatriate to Africa and don't have to worry about these issues again. I should not have to be worried about somebody putting voodoo on me because I want to repatriate and reconnect with this magnetic pull that kept pulling me over here in the first place. Now I'm here, and I'm like, what? This can't be the reason why I was pulled here. They need to know what they're doing is wrong. They need to understand that you're using voodoo in the wrong fashion. There's a light and a dark and a yes and a no and the up and the down to everything, a yin and a yang. And they're not vibrating on the right frequency when it comes to this voodoo thing here. They're not. Because let me tell you something. In order for that German to come there and sham them out of thousands of acres of land, and they didn't try to bang no voodoo on that, you got to be retarded. You had to sell your soul to the wrong entities. You really went to the far, dark places of the earth that you ain't have no business going because you wasn't even trained in it. You ain't even equipped for it. You thought those were your ancestors and they tricked you. That's how so much apart your ancestors are from you, that you thought they were and they weren't. Never was with you. And you're trying to hurt your own that come from the diaspora. You're always preaching and talking about come home. Repatriation Rastafari camp. That's his advertisement. You don't have to just be Rasta, but if you're coming from the diaspora, wherever you're coming from, and you melanated, you can come here. And then come to find out that same land with the 500 plants and the other vegetables that Josh Sparks planted outside of that, his father lost his life over that. Promoter J, you know your father lost his life over that land. And you getting ready to sell it to, you had no business trying to put that land up for sale to none of us because that land's crossing. You don't sell crosses land to people. If you know your father lost his life over that land, what the hell you look like selling me some of that land? And your dad died over it. You don't have no integrity. Where's your integrity at? Your own personal self-love at. That what you would want for yourself, you would want for your brother and sister. And yet you still was trying to sell that land. And that's why it didn't work, because you sent that moron up there to spray them 500 plants. And you got your thing. You did what you wanted to do. You got that. But guess what? That's on you, because you just missed out on generation wealth. Because 500 plants by the next year, you would have been making money, baby. And then you would have 500 more on top of that 500 in a year's time. And then the next year, another 500. And then another 500 plant. You get me? So you would have never had to be struggling and running to the voodoo man and striving and doing wicked-mindedness things. You wouldn't have to worry about that lifestyle no more. Because Josh Sparks set the stage now, but you couldn't see that far. You couldn't see generational wealth because you was never taught about generational wealth. You never grew up seeing, not even your neighbor practicing generational wealth. At least we over here can say we see, if our family didn't do it, we saw somebody's family doing it. We know it exists, and we know we have a right to use it and utilize it and make it work for us too. He didn't even make it work for him. 500 plants in 2 years, you didn't have to work never for nobody. because the cannabis would have been bringing in your business. From the hemp concrete, from the stems, to cooking oil, to clothing, to rolling paper, to food, build a house. Come on. You couldn't see that vision. And there's ones that wish they had an opportunity to link up with a family like him to do that, and you come across a moron like this, a bunch of clowns, voodoo clowns. You're not even using voodoo for you to be prosperous. You're still begging on internet, begging the diaspora while you bringing the money they gave you from the diaspora to the voodoo man. Do you see the catch here? Do you see that the voodoo man know the people you're trying to hurt can't be hurt? But he's still taking your money. He told me it's okay if I call him broke because he about to open up a store soon. I said, remember you told me that years ago? You still didn't get the store yet? You're still telling the same lie. You thought I forgot? I can pull up those conversations that you said that, the same shit you saying now. I can pull up conversations 2011 that you said that. So you see me? I'm not playing with them jokers like that because we really have a lot to bring to the continent. That's why she's pulling on us. That electromagnetic pull is being felt between that continent and this continent and us here on this continent. That's why we're feeling that. So we can't disregard that because you got clowns like them. But we got to still understand and know what we're up against when we do go there. This family don't want to leave. They left America because they didn't want to be a part of seeing on TV how black people was being treated and how they're personally being treated when they move throughout their everyday life and their children in school and all of that. That's why they left here. And now they over there fighting somebody that looked like them with a European mentality. When you got the German just took thousands of acres of land for you and you ain't banging no voodoo on him, the Haitians would have banged on them. Ogun would have been coming after them Germans like nobody before. In the night, you would have saw Ogun and that whole plantation, that whole 1,000 acres that them Germans swapped them out of. They would have had that on fire if that was the Haitians or some Jamaicans or some Nats or you get what I'm trying to say? You let them do it. You let them do it. And then you put voodoo on this family that looked like you and was giving you money and feeding you.
I hear you for sure.
So we definitely need to help them for real, even if it's just monetary purpose, because they have their idea. They just got caught up in a money bind dealing with these devils. So there's other places they can go where they're around Caribbean people and African-American people that already live there for years now. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad to say that they had to go there. They have to come there and be around their own that was from this side of the world. We're supposed to be able to go anywhere on that continent and feel at home and at ease and welcome, but we are not feeling that because they too suffer from that genetic transatlantic traumatic slave syndrome.
I'm surprised they don't have some type of blog or something that you know, African Americans who have gone to Africa can, you know, still communicate with, you know, like-minded people from America in Africa. I'm surprised they don't have anything like that.
You know what, David, the division is so crazy. It's so crazy, the division. Because even the ones that are living there and been there for a moment, there's still a disconnect with the ones that they live with that's born on the continent. They're still facing a disconnect there, too. The problem's never going to be solved. It's not going to be solved because it's a European, as long as the European, the Chinese, the Lebanese, the Indian is in those African countries, they're never going to liberate their mind. So we got to go there if we desire to live there permanently or part-time. We have to go there knowing this. Not because he says he's my Rasta brother. We can't think like that against our brothers no more on the continent. It's sad. We wanted to do that. This family was trying that, you know. I'm going to try you. If you ain't a liar, then you're going to prove to me if you're a liar or not. So they tried them. Tried to They tried him, and he told them total opposite. So now we know now we can't even try them. We got to for real know, because they tried to be nice, and this is what happens when you try to be nice. But they're always going to get redemption, always going to get redeemed. They will be retrieved. They're retrieved already. It's already happening. You know what I'm saying? No weapon forming against them is prospering. You know, it's forming, but it ain't prospering. And I just get back thinking about the situation. And then my heart, it goes out to them because I have children, I have grandchildren. I don't want that. I don't want that for them.
Is there any way to get the family on the show?
You're trying to bring a light to a place. I'm sorry. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, I'm sorry to cut you off. Is there any way to get the family on the show to speak about their experiences?
Yeah, well, I'll ask them if they want to do that. I know they said they would listen in tonight. So we'll see. Yeah, I'll let you know. Definitely we'll keep in touch. I think they will do it because they know that I'm on the air now talking about it. So they shouldn't have a problem with that. And even off air, you know.
Absolutely.
I think off air will be good too.
Like I said before, I'm here to help them in any way we can. So I really hope this situation gets resolved with a positive outcome because it seems like this family went for all the right reasons, and now they're in a bit of a situation.
Mhm. That's true. They had better intentions, and their intentions didn't pan out, you know. And then the ones that is there that they try to connect with, you know, they don't answer, or, you know, they doing their own thing. They dealing with their own personal discriminations too. So there we go again with the individualism, same way we were over here, we're just now doing on the continent. We're bringing the same traumatic syndrome. You know, you just change the environment, you just change locations, but you're still the same person. If you don't work on yourself, you just live in a different environment. I'm not going to just put the blame all on.
And that's something I don't think a lot of people understand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a lot of people understand that, though. You can't just change the environment. You got to change the culture as well, or you're not doing anything. It's not just a physical presence.
Yeah. Because look at Capando Conda. Even when someone does try to show them a kindness and a goodness, well, look what he does. He's a moron to go and spray 500 cannabis plants. Goodbye. Okay? Perfect hatred. Perfect hatred. That's another thing in the Bible I agree with. Perfect hatred. That's right. Come on now. Moron. Yep. And the Germans just took 1,000-acre orchard, spending all that green banana, plantain, pineapple, tomato, red onions, lettuce, cabbage, whatever, right back to Germany. You ain't getting nothing. And no fire burning. Nothing.
Who works the land?
Well, you know the local people working it. You know that's who's working. Who you think working it? The Germans? He's an overseer. It's a brand new slavery all over again. They don't see slavery from the perspective of the way we see it. Because remember, they didn't have a lynching. They didn't have the raping. They didn't have the type of slavery we had. Their slavery was servitude in their mind. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Over here, on this side, the Caribbean, Europe, Americas, we had a whole different type of level of a white man. All right, you're talking about pure psychopaths and lunatics, as the Black Panther calls it. Okay? Fred Hampton and them. Psychopaths and lunatics. That's the levels of it. Yeah, their mind got messed up, and just like our mind got messed up, they also mess up our body physically and our spirit. They came into them African countries easy. They slaved America, blacks and we Africans in America out. Okay, black people, melanated people from the continent to America, whatever term we would like to use. Yeah, a whole different mentality. That's why we coming with our heart in the right place, because we know the beat, and their heart is not in the right place because they don't know the beat. They looking at the German man as a god or something. So where you signing papers, thousands of acres, you should have been giving me thousands of acres. Are you serious? What? By the next year, money is coming. Fertile land, waterfalls surrounded, lakes, rivers, streams, dams surround about this place. So anything grows. Anything grows. Even on the Crosses land, he had them 500 on it. So he sent that moron. Promoted Jay sent some moron. Don't know nothing about cannabis plants. And I know Promoter Jay don't know nothing about cannabis plants because I got him word for word on Facebook asking me, do I know which plants are male and female? I said, you showing me John Sparks production. Those not your plants. You always showing people somebody else's plant and claim it's yours. Where's your produce at? Oh, I just asked you a question. Why you getting like this? Oh, because you playing on my intelligence again. That's why. These are not even your plants you asking me about. And you told me you've been dealing with the ganja business and planting and farming and agriculture. Why are you asking me? Go on Google and ask Google. I told you I sent so many fireballs at him that he blocked me. I couldn't even send him the show that I was talking about him on because he blocked me. And normally I'm not even like this. You know what I'm saying? But this is a brethren, right? This is a sister, a man and a woman, a husband and a wife that actually could go to a courthouse and get married. You know what I'm saying? Not that that mean anything to anybody, but I'm just saying. You see it? So you have 4 children. You left America. You're in Volta Beach in Ghana. Y'all together doing the thing. I have to give much respect to that. And if I can speak on your behalf, when you can't, I'm there for you. If I can send those healing energies to you and protection and healing to you, when nobody else is that's around you now doing it, I will do it. And I'm also going to talk about it on this radio platform because he needs to be exposed. And I'm glad that you're willing to help expose him because I'm willing to help you help expose him.
No,
I'm
absolutely.
Not playing
you can't
I'm not
have
just
this
talking
happen.
like
You
on
can't have
air
this
and then we get off air. I don't answer my phone and we don't do it. We're doing this.
No, it's been done before. So
if I can even get his phone number, which I will get, I'm going to get you every information I know about him because he was trying to give me 1,000 acres, remember? So I got all these signatures from all these family members that he claimed signed that I'm supposed to come there and do a solar project because he was really talking like he was about doing something. And so all I found myself was sending him money. And then when I asked, where's the farm at? Where's the produce? Where's the corn? Where's the this and where's that? You said you planted. You can't show me nothing but tell me a sad story about it grew, we ate it, and dry season came, and that's it. So you don't have no water supply. No, we only depend on rainy season. I said, that's how you farm? You're not a farmer. Farmers farm all year round with or without rainy season, okay? You got to find you a water source, baby, when it's dry time. He didn't even want to hear that. You can't even give him education. Can't even give him little keys and cues to get started.
No, it doesn't sound like he was about
mad
any
and
of
want to
that.
argue with you. Yeah, he get mad and want to argue with you. I've been through it with that joker. Pure waste of time. Pure. I was so happy to crush him. So happy. Like it needed me out of all people. Don't even just started back on the Facebook again, been on for years, and came back on, and he's back in my inbox with the same mentality from 10 years ago. And I can tell you that I've grown between those last 3-4 years that I've really been dealing with him as far as sending him money. He haven't. He's just pretending, hiding behind Rastafari. Rastafari already got a problem to think it's fake because all these different things is going on in it. So you don't know the real from the fake. You don't know what rule is right to what rule isn't right. unless you actually start living it, and then you understand, like, okay, yeah, this is what this is supposed to be like. Those people are clowns and fools. And that's what he does. He uses that to wean you in. He weaned that family in. Even after he took $1,500 from him when he was supposed to start another first farm project, and then nothing happened. When they asked him months later about it, he arguing with them, cursing them out about their own money. And I know they're not telling no lies because he used to do that with me.
Wow.
But this time, yes, but this time I was vindicated straight through the voice. I'm going to send you every message we had on Facebook regarding this conversation with the voodoo thing. How he said to me he was going to call his ancestors on me if I disrespect him again. And I told him he need to call him on the Chinese man, the German, the Indian, and the Lebanese that's doing better than him in Ghana. That's what I tell him. Put voodoo on them. You can try it, but it won't prosper because no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Call your ancestors. Do it. Do it. I mean, I live in North Miami. I'm not from North Miami. I'm from New York. So you're not talking to somebody that don't know street. You get what I'm trying to say? You can't just come to me with threats like that and don't expect me to say something back. And then I know I'm energetically protected. So I know you're foolish again because I don't live in darkness. I'm all about the light, and that's what he does. He sucks out people's light and start arguing with you and making you try to feel bad and saying, you know, he's a real, true devil in movement, a devil in real movement time. I've never seen anything like this before. I've never seen anything like this before, but I've learned about this. But now that I'm hearing about it and experiencing this with my own, you know, brother and sister and their family experiencing this, these entities in these lower places in the dark parts of the earth, these lower dimensions, they are real, okay? We're talking syllables here. They are real. They real. They real. Because I was not even fighting them because I was just cool and calm saying what I was saying, just saying the right things to him to make him reveal who he is. And sure enough, while you're denying that you ain't doing voodoo on, just while you're denying that, you're telling me you're going to call your ancestors on me. What fool does that? Moron. Pure moron. You can't get no moron than that. You just said to me that that's not true. You're not doing that. You love them. They're your family. So I didn't write there in the message. I'm going to send you everything. All right? And then you turn around and say you're going to call your ancestors on me if I keep disrespecting you. Okay. Then I tried to send you the show of me talking about you. So you can't say I'm slandering your name behind your back because I'm not a hater and I don't really have time for stuff like this, but I got time for it now because of these certain circumstances.
That's not slander if it's true.
Thank you. Thank you. Certain circumstances, I have time for it now. But I'm going to open the line for Robert because I see he's on the switchboard, 347-607.
Shalom, everybody. Robert Jackson here, campaign manager for Feel Good, and shout out to Empress Nagis. I'm also known as David Israel for those from the Hebrew community. We also got to stop this foolish scamming going on.
Big time.
Crab, any witch doctors, any voodoo.
Big time.
Yeah, any warlocks, any witches on the line. Well, I rebuke you in the name of Yahshua HaMashiach, Yahweh de Messiah. Yeah. Pierre Gooden, what up, Pierre? Yeah.
Robert Jackson, what's going on? Campaign
Enjoying
manager.
life. It's going down,
The
man.
best
June
campaign
22nd,
manager.
y'all. June 22nd. Go out there and vote. Yeah. June 22nd, election time. Local election matters.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this has been an amazing show, Robert. Thank you so much for the connect. We've got some work to do, as always. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it later, but we got some work to do.
Yeah. Serious work to do, man. Serious work. Yeah, shout to me. Niggas got the hottest show in America right now, and Africa and abroad as well.
Well, I pray so. I see it happening. I know it's happening right now.
You said the key word. The power's in the tongue, you know, right?
Right. It's happening right now. That's right.
Yeah,
Real Talk Radio.
Yeah, Real Talk Radio. Yeah. Long time, man. Rest in peace to our ancestors, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All the time. Give reverence to Marcus Garvey because he said Africa for the Africans at home and abroad. So he's reminding us abroad that Africa is our home too. We still have to claim it. There's going to be obstacles like what we're discussing now, but we can overcome those obstacles, you know. And we got to be each other's. We got to be strength for one another and think on a unity mindset, like how we're talking about finding solutions to help them, even though they don't want to leave Ghana per se, but they just want to get out of Kondo. If we can be even any of assistance to that, you get what I'm trying to say? We have showed our stewardship of the earth.
I definitely asked around for them.
And I really don't have a problem praying for them, sending healing energy to them and protection to them. I don't have a problem talking about it on the radio. I don't have a problem revealing Promoter J and his little witchy girlfriend. She looked dried up, as young as she is. She looked like an old lady. Poor thing. Poor thing. The voodoo man just taking their little money and be laughing at them.
You know, karma's real, so it definitely come back, whatever they're doing. So, Exodus 14:14. So, be still, let the Most High take care of the battles. Yeah. So.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's about it. Also, happy Juneteenth in advance to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Father's Day in advance.
When is that, Sunday?
Well, Juneteenth and Father's Day, June 19th.
June 19th.
The same day. Yeah, June 19th.
A few days. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, real shortly. And June 22nd, for those in around New York, is election day for us. Local politics matter. Vote Peer Good #1. Yeah.
Well, they got a situation out there right now. It sounded a lot like John Girotis. They got a guy on Facebook who's scamming people, basically.
Yeah, he told me the story. He told me what was going on. Definitely aware of that. But the bad part is
we're gonna do some work though.
Yeah. This stuff happening globally. But it's sad. But every dog got his day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's truly sad.
You know, let they burn their candles.
And they burning them candles, talking about, because he had the nerve to say, and between the little back and forth he was dealing with about, I deal with the ancestors for protection and guidance.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You think you're dealing with your ancestors. Your ancestors are so far apart from you, you don't even know it. That's how far apart they are from you. These entities are pretending to be your family.
True.
That voodoo man is pretending that he's doing something for them, and he's not.
Yeah, the witch doctor. Yeah. The money grab. Yeah, it's a money grab.
And he's continually doing it. He even said he would do it to me.
Yeah, it's a money grab, though.
He told me he was going to do it to me if I keep disrespecting him. So I kept disrespecting him because now I know that, I'm bringing out the truth out of your behind. So I'm going to keep disrespecting you. So I kept disrespecting him. And sure enough, I got him mad enough to tell me, as he was lying, saying he didn't put voodoo on Josh Sparks and his wife, he said he's going to call his ancestors on me. I said, see, look at this devil.
Yeah, fire burn
Look at this devil. Yeah, look at this devil. Just said he ain't doing it to them, but you'll come and do it to me.
Wow.
See?
Mm-hmm.
Can't even, that magic he working is dull, null and void. The only sad part about it is that they're in that energy web. You know what I'm saying? Once they get out of that web, they won't be sick. They won't be feeling drowsy. And you know what I'm saying? It won't be pulling on their energy field. That's why they're feeling sick, because it's pulling on their energy field. But the energy field is strong because that's all it's doing. It's not making them broke. It's not making them go insane. It's, you know what I'm saying? They still know what they're aware, and they have high consciousness of what's going on. Their subconscious mind has woken up, and they're aware of what's happening. It's just little shit that they doing. Excuse my language.
Yeah, it's all right.
And Promoter J need to be ashamed of himself. Talking about he Rastafari, Robert Selassie. Walking around here talking about he Rastafari. His name Promoter J on Facebook. Got Kwame Nkrumah as his profile picture.
All right, I'll look for him. Yeah.
And he spelled Promoter Promota space Jay.
Yeah, Jay. All right, say no more. Yeah. I'm about to pay him, you know.
And then I'm going to also send you more information on him, like our conversations throughout the years, just to show you how far back me and this demon go.
There it goes. But I want to thank you for taking the first step. Exposure is the first step. So now that we know about it, you know, maybe we can take it a few steps farther. But you know, that without information, no one knows anything that's going on, and this guy's able to get away with it over and over. So this is what we have to do.
Yeah, he needs to be put to a stop.
Yeah, it will stop. It will stop. Yeah.
And Kapando Kanda need to be put globally on the spotlight.
Yeah. Send me information on that. Yeah. Huh?
Because they creating a gateway. They creating a portal of evil. They've opened up portals, okay? And these portals, you don't know what's coming out. It's not about what's going in the portal. It's what's coming out of them portals that they're not familiar with, that haven't even been born yet, all right? They're coming from demonic bloodlines. And people don't like to go there, but I'm going to go there because you need to know that this stuff is real. So they're opening up portals within this earth that's affecting us, affecting the frequency of the earth, affecting the vibration, how she moves on her axis, that 23.5 degree on her axis. She's not wobbling anymore. She's trying to get in balance. Now the earth's been wobbling on its axis. Now she's trying to do a perfect spin, and she can't even do a perfect spin. Because they're opening up these gateways and portals of evil where you got light workers like myself or my daughter or other people or whatever that deals with like shaman ways of healing that's shutting them doors down, closing them gates, and running them demons back into the earth where they be mulched up, where they belong to be mulched up into the earth. Never existed, shredded, shoot, like that. But when you open up certain portals like what they're doing, because they got a particular town, so now they have a big portal open, big-time demons. What you mean? Man, you know they covered because they living through it, and they're able to repel it. That's how you know that good over evil is for real. And I just have to speak about it. I'm sorry, I just do. The Coons in politics fits right in this category because they're Coons. You'd be being a Coon when you go to the voodoo man on your brother and sister from the diaspora. That was only trying to show your kindness and the goodness from the start. Treated you better than you treated yourself. Loved you more than you loved just and you even showed love for yourself. Got all them acres around you and then do nothing about it. Nothing. And when somebody come in and do something about it, you go poison. That's the devil. That's not light people. That's not good people. I'm very upset about that because black people are already having a hard time dealing with each other, dealing with their own selves, and then we have to deal with stuff like this when we go home to the same continent that's been electromagnetically pulling on us. Now I'm here, and I'm like, okay, I'm not feeling that same electromagnetic pull from the brother and sister. I'm feeling a different thing, like a usury thing. But then when they see a white person, they treat the white person with more respect than me. But the white person came with false paperwork and made me sign it. And I came from the diaspora with my wife and children, and you want to hurt me. And I'm not trying to take thousands of acres from you. I don't even want that much from you. I'm not even going to swindle you out of that. I'm just going to plant 500 plants, and we all going to eat from that and keep flipping it, because that was a yearly plan to keep flipping. From May to October, you can get a produce out of growing cannabis. You have enough of it, you start flipping it. But they don't think economics. They're not even taught it. They have no economic financial background at all. Those skills to say, I'm going to save this amount this year and get this, so next year I'll have that. Nothing. Just beggy. I know a sister in Washington, D.C. was saying how Promoter J begged her out of $50. And she's like, I'm paying for my one-bedroom in Washington. I have to work to get my rent money every month, and he's begging her $50. Just $50, just begged her like that. And he don't want me to call him out on another thing. Because, see, I'll do it, especially when I know what I'm talking about, and I know, and he knows what I'm talking about, because when his dad passed away, the same dad that passed away for that Crosses land that he be trying to sell to people from the diaspora, all right, yeah, that same land, when his dad died, it was that Empress in Washington, D.C. calling the funeral home to keep his father's body on ice because they didn't even have enough money to ice his father. Man, get out of here with that. Because his father lost his life over that same Crosses land you're trying to sell to people in America or diaspora or Jamaica or Caribbean or England, wherever they are. This type of levels of wickedness I'm talking about. We not need to be discouraged not to speak Sankofa and want to reach back to our roots and go back to Africa. Of course, Africa is a must, but you need to be careful. That's it. Just do your research and be careful. I don't care how long you've been talking to somebody online for years. There's no more in the name of love. I'm going to take your word for it. We can't live like that no more in these times. I'm so sorry.
I got to second that.
I'm so sorry
that we have to be that way. We have to do our homework. We got to do our research, and then do some more due diligence on top of it, because you never know who you're dealing with. It only takes 1 second, one transaction, and one moment of trust, and now they have your information, they have your money, and going and getting it back is sometimes impossible, but certainly difficult. So let's not put ourselves in those situations. Information is power. Now that we have this situation on hand, everyone knows about it. I hope that people take these interactions on Facebook and social media seriously. And if you don't know the person personally, act like you don't know them if you're on Facebook, because this is what happens a lot of times.
And social media. But I'm sure that they wouldn't have a problem, even if we're off air, to speak with you and, try to sort out some options. Because I would like to see them out of there now. If I can, that drum just that one time and make it happen, I would, But I just feel like as long as I stay on the airwaves, expressing it, it's reaching the right ears, because people need to know Promoter J is a fraud. And if you in your inbox with any talking about my family land and we're ready to give up land to people in the diaspora, we want you to come home. He comes with that good story that you would like to hear, because now you want to break away from the troubles over here in the West. I understand it all. But you try him first. You got to go meet it first. See him first. Let him show you he's a liar. Let him show you he's telling the truth. That's my advice, Even going to Ghana back in 2012. my advice still today, 2012, 2021. Okay, look at those numbers. Saying the same thing. Nothing has changed from the time I went to right now. Because she shouldn't be telling me the story that I said. Yeah, I know. But we can bring so much to the table if we just was on a more unified frequency. And we're not getting that way because of the sickness, the genetics. These generations of people that we're seeing around us that we call morons and coons and, you know, lost and sleeping giants and all of that, they got to be off this planet. I'm sorry to say it, but I just have to speak it how it is. You know, with no attachments. I'm just speaking with no attachments. You know, they can't be here. They're offsetting the planet. We need a new generation of people that's not vibrating on their frequency. This is about vibes and frequency. This is what this planet is moving into, a more 5D vibe and frequency. Look what's happening. Well, I shouldn't be having this conversation about this right now. That shouldn't even be the topic. But it is. That's how backwards this race is. The black race is sick. And some is waking up, yes, spiritually, and some isn't. And these little portals that are being opened from evil people like Promoter J and his family, and he says his grandfather's doing it, and whoever else is doing it, his mom, always smelling like rum and them things. If they only use their mind to say, let me shift this to love and light, bring healing and prosperity. Because you put all that good energy that you had to go hurt somebody because you was mad at them because they told you the truth about yourself. So you really called your ancestors on somebody to do something really bad and evil. Instead of using that anger and converting that, making it your ally, turning your enemies into your allies, and utilizing it as a strength. They're not even on that plane right about now. They're like 20, 30 years behind that type of thinking. And I don't have time to heal anything that's that far behind. And I'm speaking from a shaman's way of healing. I'm sorry, I might sound like a mean shaman. I don't know. But that's how I feel. And that's how I'm going to operate on that energy. I don't even want to help it. It's too damaged. It's too gone. No redemption for that on this plane, so to speak. They would have to want to remove that and go through the process to do it. I wouldn't do it. And a lot of our brothers and sisters is gone with that. And I just can't do anything for them. Promoter J, I can't do anything for him. He blocked me anyway, so I know I can't do anything for him anymore. Can't get any more money out of me or anybody that I know. Criminal, a white-collar criminal, giving up his culture for cancer. Like a living parasite, like a cancer. Give up his real, true culture to be a cancer to somebody. I can't wait to send you the conversation we had. I can't wait.
I will be reading all of it.
Because I have rightful information to get him even on blast, although he's in Africa. He thinks nothing can happen to him because I'm in U.S. and he's over there. He don't think nobody can do him nothing. But if there's a way I can do him something, or, you know, they can even personally do him something, because I also have a personal situation with him, too, with him taking money, borrowing money, and saying he's going to do such and such, taking false pictures, pretending he's doing this and he really isn't, saying that this is his ganja farm when it's really somebody else's farm. Then when you bring it up to him a year and a half later, he finally tells the truth that it's not his, it was his brethren, which you knew that from the beginning, which I knew that anyway, but I just had to get it out of him. I have all this in black and white, right through the Facebook. Some was on Skype, that could be pulled up, whatever. Some was on WhatsApp. So he can have a good day, you know. He really could. He really don't want to get started with me. If something could be done for all the information that I have and the proof that I have and the evidence that I have, then I'll do it. They can't do it because they're in Ghana. I'm here. I can do it for them on this side. They can do it, and they can participate in the doing.
Yeah.
Because I'm coming from a radio personality point of view, a radio host point of view, real radio talk. That have came across some information. Blah, blah, blah. All I know is if there's a way, I'm going to say it again, for him to be dealt with in the legalities point of view, let me know. I have to come to New York anyway to spend some time with my mom throughout the summer. I don't know exactly when. I'm trying to get the whole accommodation stuff sorted out, but in the June, July, August, like that.
There's definitely ways to deal with the situation.
Or we can do it long distance. But I will be in New York throughout the summer sometime. And if not, while I'm still here in Miami, it can get started now. However it can be done.
Yeah, absolutely. Because time is of the essence. We don't want him out here doing this to other people.
We can get it done now.
Yeah, when we know about it.
Starting now. And if the Ghana government is supposed to be so innocent and so righteous like he claims he is, then you need to stop your citizens from behaving that way, and you need to get it on their news media in Ghana, on their radio, local radio, well-known local radio, not some little underground dibby-dibby. Yeah, the underground dibby-dibby could be broadcasting it too, but I also want it on your major channels, all right? TV, media, internet, any kind of technology going on with that. Supposed to know this. We have a voice too because we're reconnecting back to our roots. But we should be able to come to Africa and say, I don't like how this is happening. I don't like what's happening to me. You're putting voodoo. I have to worry about voodoo being put on me because I'm from America. And you got Germans right here just took thousands of acres of land when y'all not doing nothing about it. Some Germans need to be stopped as well. See, the complaint about me complaining is also going to expose the Germans and the Chinese and the Lebanese and the Indians, because those are those 4 groups I saw there that really got their hand on Ghana like it's free cake, okay? That's what I saw in 2012. And from what I'm hearing and researching and seeing now on social media, internet, my own little researching, it's the same vibe, and even worse. Turned it up a few notches. You see? So don't play with me when it comes to these type of situations, because they could be dealt with national or international. As long as there's a will, there's a way, first of all, and as long as you got the right networking and the right people in the right places to execute it, to make sure it happens, because see, all that talking, I'm not with it just talking and sending all this information and doing shows, and then nothing really goes down. No, I'm not with all of that. I'm really ready to see something happen. Like Promoter J get knocked on his door. Like the judge is there. It's on their media. It's in their TVs. It's on their radio. Not even just saying his name on the radio, but just a warning that the Ghanaian government is not going for any voodoo practitioners using voodoo to try and make the people from the diaspora broke. If you're not trying to work with them in a positive manner, leave them alone, because you can get charged for it if they feel that you're doing something to them. Because there's proof that there's a family that has experienced that. So where's your case? Your case is this family. Do I have 5 cases to give you? Of course not, because not everybody talks about it. They just get out of it and move on or come back to America. But this is one case that's documented right here and now, not even a year old. So, you know what I'm saying? There's a lead way with this if it's being handled in the right way. if the right people is behind it. That's all I'm saying. And if the right people's going to be behind it and the right thing is going to be done from it, then I'm all for being right there with it at the forefront with it, making sure it happens. Because I have all the information, and they have information more than me. Because let me tell you something. If it wasn't for Josh Sparks and his wife, Empress of Kusa, I wouldn't even know that fool, Promoter J. Let me add that, because I forgot to add that this time. Yeah, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't even know him. They're the one who told me that there's a lot of brethren, the Volta region in Ghana. The wife told me. Empress of Kusa. And he has land for people in the diaspora, and this is his name, contact him, and that's how it started. And what he did was he prayed on the light. That's what he did. Oh, these lots of people look friendly, they look all love and one love, and they forgot love and fire. They forgot fire came after, and fire came after love. They forgot that. It is love, but it's also and fire. So when you come with the fire, you're crazy. You know, you don't know what you're saying or doing. But as long as you're being that whole and the parasite off of you, you know, you're all love for them. They're good. And they will stick by you and stick up under you until it's all gone. And once it's all gone, the friendship is gone. And even when you're showing them a kindness and the goodness, I have to express this again, because this is a mentality of a people that is possessed by unknown spirits that they're not even aware that even exist. They opened up gateways and portals, remember. So this is a mind, this is a different mind that I'm talking about. So this mind that I'm talking about thinks that, yeah, you know, it's okay to make them be like me. They go take the same money they give me for me to go. I should be feeding my daughter with, or buying groceries for my house, or buying a sofa for my house, or buying a bed for my house, or putting some curtains up in my house. Instead of me doing that, I'm going to the voodoo man that knows I can't touch this family. Because from they come under the shield of Haile Selassie, H.I.M, Rastafari, you already know they're already sealed. You're supposed to know that already. So you're not breaking that, especially if they're steadfast in it. They're not hypocrites of it. They're really steadfast in it. They're holding the Sabbath. They're, you know, beating their drums. They're doing night Sabbath service in the morning. They're eating night out. They're living the liberty of it. And everybody has their flaws. Of course they have their flaws. I'm not even going to go there. But I'm just saying they came with good intentions with their heart in the right place. So what you expect? You can't really break people like that down too much because they're not open to those dark entities that you conjured up, that's surrounding you and exposing you, like how I'm exposing them now. There's those the gremlins and goblins that he brought in through those portals and gateways. They're laughing at him because they know that they couldn't trample their giants, my giants. He had to block me. He had to get me out of off of his Facebook. He had to block me up out of there. But I thought you was calling your ancestors on me. You knew something that night when you went to sleep. You knew you couldn't call them on me because they told you I'm not going after her. I'm not never going after her. Are you crazy? You should have been friends with her. He's feeling low in his heart, depletion of spirit. He has depleted of his spirit. Just imagine you looking at a circle, and the circle is still black, but that blackness is starting dimming and getting dimmer. It's not as black as it used to be. That's him now, just fading away in darkness. So he's nothing. That's the world he chose to live in. That's what he chose to do. Know the results of that when people go that way. And no help for him. Perfect hatred. That's all I have for him is perfect hatred. Promoter J. Boltavijan Kapando Kanda Ghana. Perfect hatred. He can't even get in my dreams. He can't do nothing. Okay? Nothing. I told you they only can call Ghostbusters and they can't even help them. Nothing could help them. And this is what I'm supposed to be repatriating to? I don't think so. These people got to be exposed to certain places in Ghana or any part of any country in Africa that one decides to live. Make sure it's not a voodoo part of town, because if it is, most likely their voodoo is not there to help you. It's there to hinder you and bring you into their web. Whoever you're going with is bringing you back and is bringing you into that web. So you eventually end up like them and you're being in that warp zone with them. You got to fit into that realm that they just created. You're hardly going to find ones dealing with love and light because they've lost their way years ago, thousands of years ago, before you and I was even thought of, okay, anybody on this line or listening their way. So that coming back part is not really necessarily going to happen in our lifetime. We're not going to see that in our lifetime. You know, yeah. Going to take years to get them completely off this planet like that. And we're moving into a 5D zone. So a lot of it is just going to fade away itself anyway. I don't know. I want to take people to another space zone, because sometimes you say certain topics and people are not there. You got to get on people's level when you're speaking about certain things, but sometimes I can't help it, you know. That's just how I am, you know. And in order for me to be that expressive person that I am, I have to step outside of your normal way of thinking. But at the same time, we can bring it back to the topic at hand. The voodoo needs to be used like in 1804 with the Haitian Revolution. Start crushing the European and that main oppressor. Crush him. Crush him.
Right.
Ogun style. Okay? Crush him Ogun style.
Right.
That's my argument. Just crush him Ogun style. I'm not saying you can't use voodoo, but I know that there's a light in the dark to everything. Even in the church, you got your good pastor and your bad pastor, good dentist and the bad dentist. Same with the doctor, the judge, the lawyer, the police, the teacher. You know, list goes on and on. You need to discern.
Yeah.
So voodoo, use voodoo for good. Use it for prosperity. If you're sick and you're trying to get that fever and flu up out of you. If you know your daughter needs that good job, she worked hard in college and earned her degree to earn that job. You get what I'm trying to say? And you have your little ritual going on for you every time she's going to interview someone will want to hire her or have a good offer for her. Use it in love and light for your neighbor and her and her husband having problems and bring their relationship back together again. Or their child is out on drugs or ran away from home and bring wholeness back. Those are the heights you're supposed to be on. Or when that white man trying to oppress us and put their knee in our neck and everybody could record it on social media and watch you humiliate me. We should, you know what I'm saying, use voodoo on that. Crushing him. Crushing them police that did that. To George and Trayvon and Tamia and Sandra and, you know what I'm saying, Brianna. Let's go there.
Amen.
Let's go there.
Amen.
Bang it on them. Because, see, when you start doing that, now I can respect you then. Then you can get all my money because you crushing every problem I got in the world. Okay? So I won't be broke anymore because you just destroyed my problem. In a joking type of way, but seriously speaking, seriously. You got to be kidding me. But when you see white people, you look at white people as your God. That's why you can't bang on him like you banging on me. So it still proves that you got that syndrome, that traumatic sickness. You're traumatically messed up. Genetically, though. It's not your fault. It's genetics. The British man came into Ghana and made them think if you don't speak British, because I remember Robert was telling me earlier today when we were speaking that when he was in, I think, Nigeria, they were saying to him, oh, you don't speak the Queen language. And he was like, ask the Queen. And they was just looking at him like he was crazy. Like, so what, I don't speak the Queen language, and who is the Queen? She made language. Her language is so baby. Take the baby out of baby with that, okay? We Muhammad. We before all of that. But, you know, genetically speaking, we haven't upgraded our DNA, and we're still dealing with remnants of, you know, transatlantic slave trade, traumatic slave syndrome. We're dealing with it. This is the residue. This is what it is, you know. Our parents try not to go out so much.
Yeah, I was just agreeing with you. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. My parents had it. I love my grandparents. I love my parents. But they got it too.
Yeah.
They got it too.
But, you know,
it wasn't as bad as the grandparents, but they got it. And, you know, they had us, and we kind of was the awakened ones. And they can't understand us because we're too old. You know what I'm saying? They're new. Our souls are older than them, although they're our parents. It seems kind of twisted, but that's true. They were just portals for us to come on this earth plane, but we're kind of like older than them. We chose them to be our parents. That's a whole other story. I don't want to spook anybody out, but yeah, that's it. That's it. You know, I think we went far today with the Coons in politics. You know.
Amen.
But Brother Pierre, are you serious about this exposure? Because I'm ready to take it to the next level, international level,
of course.
TV level, and then some level.
Yeah, I mean, there have been individuals who were scamming people online, and we put them in jail. And this happened 3 years ago. So it was a national story, and if this is that sort of thing, then we're going to do the same thing. I mean, you can't. And there's a lot of ways that we can approach it because, of course, he believes that because he's overseas that he's untouchable, but that's not true. I mean, we've got lawyers over at Facebook to shut down his account and international law. So we'll make sure that people are protected. But my heart again goes out to the family, and I want to make sure that they have everything they need first.
Right.
Yeah, I'm listening. It's true.
Yeah, so we definitely need to follow up, try to get the family on, and, you know, just support them as much as we can.
I don't think that'll be a problem. I don't think so.
I'm looking forward to hearing from them, although we have a pretty holistic knowledge right now of what they're going through. I'm looking forward to hearing from them as well to fill in what's going on over there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes, I think they'll be open to it. definitely, if there's a resolution that's going to happen, they should be open to it.
And let's make sure if Robert's on the phone, or even if he's not, just make sure that everybody who we're speaking with has the same information so we can all connect and get this done fairly quickly.
Okay. Yeah, Robert has my info. I have his. I have your number now and your name.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
you just got to email me or text me your email so I can send you our conversation, like the previous conversation. If you need years before conversations, I can get that to you too. But I think what's the topic that we're talking about now, right now we can focus on that, and then we can talk about my personal issue with him later, you know.
No, absolutely.
Swindling me, you know, because there's two cases here. Exactly. There's their case and there's my case.
Yes.
Their case is more dire than mine. Mine's to wait.
Well, you know, the family's in their situation, but we have to make sure that he's accountable for all the things he's done. You know, I'm definitely for accountability. You know, oftentimes when we run the story, we see 10, 20, 50 more people that this individual has harmed, and I'm not just talking about our guy from today. So it's important to get this out here because, again, if this family's going through the situation, probably 20 others, maybe more, that are going through the same
that we
thing.
don't know of.
And that's really what put my case together 3 years ago, putting this guy in jail for fraud. You know, it wasn't just real estate. It wasn't just renting an apartment because of the number of people. That's part of the criminal aspect as well. So we have to make sure we start keeping track of the other people who might be affected as well.
Sure. But I have some good information. And,
Good.
you know, where he was basically saying it out of his own mouth. I don't know how more proof than is that, you know, and I'm actually saying
it's admission against interest. It's nothing better than that in court or anywhere else. Straight from the individual. So I'll definitely be reading through the documents and parsing out what we can use.
Okay, good to know that. So what's a good time to talk to you tomorrow about this?
Let's see. Let's check the schedule here. We have Bible study. Anytime after 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, you're in Miami, so you're fine.
So how about 11:30?
Yeah, 11:30 is good.
So I'll email you everything tomorrow when we speak.
Okay, perfect.
Right?
Yes.
Is that fine?
That is very fine. Looking forward to the conversation.
Okay. Yes, 11:30 a.m. I will be giving you a call.
Okay. And I'll send you over the last case that ended up well, considering the circumstances.
Okay. It's similar circumstances? Are you serious?
Fairly similar, unfortunately.
Was it international?
I mean, in this case, well, no, it wasn't international, but we were also talking about a politician who was on the ballot from prison because of the situation. But an online element, and also, you know, telling people something that just wasn't true, and then when they gave their money over, you know, things went from bad to worse. So we've seen this situation before.
Mhm. Okay, that's good to know.
I'm still here.
Okay, I thought maybe the line blanked out. I didn't hear anything. Yeah, so David, I don't know if you wanted to say anything. You've been kind of quiet tonight.
I've been listening and soaking it in. Like
I
I
know,
said,
right?
they should have a Facebook page at least where, you know, people who have moved from here to there can communicate.
From here to Ghana?
No, for Americans who have moved over there, they should be able to talk to other Americans over there who have moved over there.
I know, but that was the thing because that's what Empress Akusa was saying to me, that she did come across a few people that were from here that's there. Matter of fact, I think the end of March, they had an Empress Menen Earth Day celebration there in Ghana, I guess at some center, and she saw a few people that were from here, and she took numbers down, and she said they act like they don't see her calling. So she stopped calling. She wanted to call in actions, you know, because they've been there longer. So she wanted to just know, like, how the runnings is and just certain things, you know, and she can't get nobody on the phone because they don't answer her.
Wow. Well, that's kind of sad.
Just going there with the same attitude, leaving here with the same vibes, same separation that we are with each other over here. It's like it's being brought over there, being brought to Ghana.
Right.
And then you do have your ones that are together and doing it in the togetherness, but it's so much more that's not. That the small amount that is doing it, you hardly can recognize it. You know what I'm saying? But I always remember to give recognition, you know, because I can always talk about what's not going right because there's so much of it not going right. But I do want to give, you know, acknowledgement to the right that is being done and that it can be done. You just got to be linked with the right ones. You know what I'm saying? And some people are not, fortunately, you know, led to the right ones at first. Later on down the line is when they get to the right ones, you know. Some people automatically run into the right one. So it's just all about, you know, the timing, who you are, and the circumstances and things like that. But she did say she was reaching out to certain ones, and they act like they don't see her call.
That is so shameful.
The ones she was calling are from here, either America or Caribbean, whatever. So she was saying them acting like that. So we all guilty all across the board, you know, all across the board. I'm just zooming in on the Africans on the continent because this is where the elephant is, the big elephant in the room that everybody act like is not there, but it's there. So we just need to go back and redirect ourselves. Realize, you know, we know who started this problem, but we sitting here being participants of the problem. So we have to keep blaming ourselves now because we know we don't have to do this, but we still choose to do this. You didn't have to put voodoo on her and her family. You could have put voodoo on them Germans that scammed that, you know, the people you know. And I know he heard about it. He was shocked. I know he was shocked that I even knew that. Like, where she knew that from? Yeah, I know. They've been over there in the Volta using and abusing y'all. Think I don't know that a long time ago. That's why you don't got nothing. And you sitting here sucking us dry, begging $50. Come on. Begging the lady $50, and she's telling you how she don't have it. She got rent due and everything. And she still ends up doing it. They want you to go in their savings for them. You know? Beg you. Beg to out of her $50. When you tell me that, when you tell me that, I had to laugh at
WhatsApp.
I can't even believe she was telling me that. Then she was telling me how she talking to the funeral man and, please keep his father's body on ice. That's not funny. I'm not laughing at that. But the mere fact that they didn't have no money to freeze his father's body before burial.
Wow.
And as long as she would tell them, I'm calling from America, Washington, D.C., just give it a couple of days, blah, 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 they did it. But as long as the local people will go there and say, hey, I need your help. If we don't have the money, can you just do this one time for my dad? They couldn't do it. So a money thing. They didn't want to keep the man's body on ice. They didn't even have their stuff organized and ready. I don't know what's going on with that. His grandfather's supposed to be the chief of Adivu House of Adivu, Papondo Kanda, Volta Beach in Ghana, and you couldn't even get the funds up to bury your child, your son. I'm not trying to throw Grandpa under the bus. I'm not trying to throw Chief under the bus. But that just tells me a lot about you, too. Because nobody from Washington, D.C., all right, that was already taking care of her grandmother before she passed and transitioned, was already dealing with her own personal issues and family. No way she can make a phone call and the funeral home will say, okay, we'll keep them on ice because she got a call, and I guess she's from America, and she'll give us money. She'll make sure we get paid. And it didn't even work out that way. You just kept them on ice for the couple of days that they needed it, and they buried the father. So why you just couldn't do that anyway? The mind is a terrible thing to waste. That's the most simplest way I can put this. The most simplest way I can put this. I'm not even going to metaphysics deep no more. I'm just going to start saying simple little terms. The mind is a terrible thing to waste, and the mind is wasted. It's wasted. When somebody say you wasted, or she's wasted, or he's wasted, a situation is wasted, a place is wasted, just know not to be bothered with that. These people have become wasted. And I could talk about you because we're of the same bloodline, and I know you. And I love you with perfect hatred. I love you with perfect hatred. I'm not ashamed to say it. And that goes to all voodoo men in Kapando Kanda, all voodoo women, all Obia workers, all the ones that conjuring up and opening up doors and portals to slay the righteous without a cause, to harm children and women and husbands. Ghostbusters can't even help them. I don't know no shaman that will go and close those portals and gates that they open. That's something they got to do themselves. I don't know anyone that would do that. And I'm like a eternal, infinite shaman trainee, I would say. And I don't know any that would do that. They will say they opened up those gates and portals, let them close them themselves so they know what they was doing when they did what they was doing. You know.
Right.
And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I love them with perfect hatred. Had the nerve to say, oh, why you mad with me? I just asked you one question. I don't understand you sometimes. I just asked you one question. Was it a male or a female? And you're telling me all of this. He act like he couldn't get it. He still act like he couldn't get it. Y'all said because you're a farmer, you're supposed to know male from female plant. Look how long you're supposed to be farming.
Yeah,
like that.
Even if you have to, even if you have to mark the pot